Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sound Test Room. Today we are taking a look at POLYBEAT's new feature, which is Velocity. Velocity was added recently and is super useful for any drum machine. When I did my last live stream tutorial for this, I said Velocity was missing. Oh, you can also add the CCs now. You can see CC destinations. We'll be taking a look at the Velocity first. So if you're familiar with POLYBEAT, you'll need to go no further than this first section. So what I'm going to do is I have it MIDI'd up to a RuseMaker FM. You'll see it's the source is POLYBEAT for RuseMaker. And you set that up inside POLYBEAT very easily by clicking on the toaster, going to MIDI mappings and apps and choosing RuseMaker FM. Because the developer has kindly made loads of MIDI mappings already for us. So cool beans. And look, there's some really good ones. Look, there's Hammerhead, we've got Koala, so Clev Grand Thing. Brilliant. So let's go back to there and close our toaster. And we'll start with hi-hats, okay? So we'll add a bunch of hi-hats in, down the bottom hill. It'd be nice if I could just like kind of draw them in, you know. There we go. And we'll go to velocity. Okay, so obviously it's going to work like I'd like to be able to kind of draw it in like you can like in some of them, but we can't. So I'm going to just draw a kind of a quick rough and ready thing. Good Lord. It's difficult to do this with the mouse. It's much easier with doing it with your fingers. However, it's better for you to see what's going on, I think. Right, so, if we play this now, you see we have velocity. A good thing that works with this for creating, like, in particular, a velocity ramp like that is the ratchet. So see every other ratchet. Okay, so go to ratchet and put them back to 1. Okay, so here's the thing to remember as well. If you're working with your velocity, if you then go to accent, you're going to mess up your velocities, right? So if we put an accent in, it's a very nice effect though, combining the velocities with the ratchet, but you see you've basically increased them. And taking that accent off won't put back your original velocity setting, so you should be aware of that as well. If we look at these 4 here, we go to and we take those accents off and go back to velocity, you'll still see it's about halfway. So it puts it back up about half. So just be aware of that when you're setting your velocities and things and you go into accent. Let's have a drink of me coffee. Okay, let's add the kick in. Let's add a... Right, so let's do a brief overview of POLYBEAT, shall we, before we go? Because I only really wanted to show you the new ratchets and feature, but POLYBEAT is absolute genius. So apart from your MIDI mapping cool stuff, you have kick, snare, pick 1, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, a hi-hat, sorry. On each row, this line across the top here, I'll explain what all of this does, but each line across the top here corresponds to whatever you have selected here. So if we go to percussion 1, and I add those 3, and maybe go to our velocity, And then maybe our ratchet for the really quiet ones. And then choose skip and have the ratcheted ones skip once. Skip, play. Okay. Let's go back to our snare. Now, like I said, for every single drum, this row here is your controls for each independent lane. Okay, so like if I hit this little X now, it's going to delete that snare. Let's put it back in. Let's get a more kind of standardy pattern going, shall we? Okay, so watch. We can mute the kick. Solo the kick. Or we could go into Rusemaker FM now and maybe make some. Where's the kick? Okay. Bit of saturation there. Okay. This is the resolution. And you'll see again it's independent of each track. This is your dotteds. And again it will affect the track, double dotted, and then tuplets. Then we have randomize. Let's clear that. Put our two original kicks back in. And then next I have a kind of a subtle randomization, so it will randomize less. These next ones will nudge your entire lane forward or backwards. And this sounds nice. You'll hear it better if we're unmuted, because it changes the whole feel. Okay, let's solo it again. This will add one beat at the end of the bar, and this will start to create a polyrhythm now, because it will get shifted offset until it comes round again. This will add another, and this will decrease. Okay, this will flip. So basically it will invert it, so whatever is at the front, so this pattern here will now be, this beat here will now be at the end if we hit this like this. So we've flipped the sample basically. This will create a negative of the sample, so for every beat that is filled now, they will be empty and all other beats will be filled. So we're back to our basic one now. This one will basically increase it will double the bar. So we've got one bar now. This will make it 2 bars. And you can only go, let me do this with my finger. Oops. You can only go up to 2 bars, I think. There you go. And this one will divide it again. So it will divide it in half. down to its 4 bars, and then this will divide it again half each time until you're down to 1 beat. So they're the controls along the top, and that's basically it. That's basically a lot. It's very, very nice. There's a lot you can do. Don't forget also, you can create kind of, well, if you're playing with the different, let's take this off, this kick-off solo, by the way. We can create interesting polyrhythms by moving these all around. And we can even add extra beats in if we like. We've got chants on all of these for the, let's do the percussion 2 chants, which is different than the skip, of course. Very interesting. Let's play with the resolution for the snare. And it shows you where you are at the top there as well, resolution wise, I mean. So you can see you can really get some nice, cool, glitchy rhythms going on. I think POLYBEAT's brilliant idea. I think it's easy to use. The fact that you've got all this control, it's lovely now that velocity's there, because velocity is really important, you know, for drums. You can create a lot of, excuse me, just one sec. You can create a lot of interesting textures and movement and things with velocity. Very cool beans. Anyway, guys, there you go. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Consider becoming a Patreon, please. $1 a month. It'll cost you $1 a month. We have loads of extra stuff there. So it's not just a pledge to support us, which of course it is, but there is other things over there going on all the time, and loads of free stuff, preset packs, all sorts of cool stuff. Anyway, but that would be very much appreciated, even if it was just for Christmas, guys. Anyway, POLYBEAT, awesome stuff, very cool beans. Yeah, I'll see you later. Bless you all for watching. Thank you very, very, very much. See you later. I'll put a link in, by the way, for POLYBEAT in the description below. Ta-da.